Okay, let's get started. Okay, good morning, everybody. I hope you're well and safe and healthy and all having a fantastic time at home. Okay, so I got some videos from Hun and Kimi about the freezing experiment. Did anybody else try the instant freezing of water experiment? Yeah, Winter, talk to me about your experiment. Did it work?
Yes, it works.
It worked? Did you have fun with it?
But
Tell
I
me.
think it is when I hit it, I think it is already freezing.
Oh, well, that
A
didn't
little
work
bit.
then.
A
That didn't
little
work. You
bit.
left
A little bit.
a little
A
bit.
little
Okay.
bit of water free.
A little bit of water froze. Okay, cool. No problem. Billy, did you try it?
I tried, but it did not work.
Oh dear. Okay. What do you think went wrong?
I think because of my refrigerator is on 6 degrees.
Well, you put it in the freezer, not the refrigerator.
Yes, the freezer.
The freezer is 6 degrees. Okay, so Billy, let's do some maths here. Okay, so if we said minus 18 degrees for 1.5 hours and your freezer was minus 6 degrees, how long should you leave it in for? Leave that with you, Billy. You can think about it. When you get an answer, let me know. Trixie, did you try it?
Yeah.
Yeah, did it work?
It did.
It did. Cool. Good job. So what if I was to ask you a question to anyone who tried it, what observation can you make about this experiment? What can you say? Okay, right, let me help you. So if you're a scientist and you are looking into this, let's call it a phenomenon, okay? The word phenomenon means unexplained event or happening, okay? So in this situation, you have something you might not necessarily understand, okay? So what happens is we turn the water into something called a super liquid. Remember when we spoke about solids, liquids, and gases? Okay, so in between each of those phases, there's this little, I'm going to call it a wiggly bit. It's like a wiggly bit. So when when a liquid is going to a solid, there's a certain point that if you get it right, that it is going to, okay, so as I was saying, in between each of the phases, there's something called there's a super liquid, okay? So the super liquid basically states that at any point, this can change directly to a solid when you have an outside influence, okay? When you have something that changes it straight away. So what you're doing to the water is you're making it into a super liquid that exists in both states of matter. So it exists as a solid and a liquid. You're not able to say which one it is. It looks like a liquid, but it's actually a solid. And even if it's a solid, it can look like a liquid as well. So it's a really interesting point. So the observation you can make is that why does water change to a solid straight away? And your hypothesis can say, if water changes to a solid straight away, it is in what is called a super liquid phase. Okay, so there's just an idea. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at some types of scientists. And for your homework, I'm going to ask you to pretend to be a type of scientist. I think about what they study, and we're going to do a quizzes as well, a live one. Okay, let me share my screen with you. So let's review some of the vocabulary that we've learned recently. Okay, who can tell me what is an experiment? Noob.
Experiment is something that we try.
Okay, yeah, but and why do we try it?
We try to know.
Try to know what? What are we trying to do?
What it is. What it works.
Okay, yeah, you're saying lots of the right things, but you're missing just the one word, okay? And that's test, okay? We're looking to test something, okay? So you're saying all the right things there, Noob, like how to know how it works, but we're testing what it does and the way it works. All right, Billy, how would you describe an experiment?
An experiment is something that you do to see if our hypothesis is correct.
Yeah, that's a lovely, beautiful example. But good job. What is a hypothesis? Billy, coming in to save the day again. What's a hypothesis?
An hypothesis is something that you guess before you did the experiment.
Ah, awesome. Good example. Good job, Billy. Something that you guess before you do an experiment. Cool. Good job. So, what scientists will do is scientists will observe. They will look. They will take a guess as to why something is the reason it is. They will then design an experiment to find out if that is the reason why. So, let's have a look at some types of scientists, and then we'll do a quiz. Scientist is someone that studies a scientific idea in order to advance our knowledge of that science. What we're going to do is look at different types of scientists. So you can tell me the names of some types of scientists that they know of. Yes, that is Mr. Einstein going continuously into his nose. But what type of scientist was Albert Einstein? It's actually a pretty hard one. Who can have a guess what he was, or what type of scientist he was? Okay, so to help you out, he was a theoretical, so an idea is someone who thought of ideas about physics, okay? So his theory of relativity, E equals mc squared, the idea of energy is mass multiplied by the speed of light. His idea is only a theory, right? So he was a theoretical physicist. So he thought about ideas about how things work, but there are many other types of scientists. So let's have a look at some. So guess what they study? What does a zoologist study? Who can have a guess? Trixie.
I think they study animals.
They study animals. Let's see if you're right. Yes, a zoologist is someone that studies animals. Good job. So let me ask you a question. Who'd like to be a zoologist? Yeah, Pumpkin, why do you want to be a zoologist?
Because I can see a lot of animals.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else? Billy, do you want to be a zoologist?
Yes.
Yeah, why? Why do you want to be a zoologist?
Because I want to know more about animals.
You want to know more about animals? Okay, that's fair enough. That's good. Okay, let's try another one. What about a botanist? Can I have a guess what a botanist studies? Winter, any guess?
I think the botanists study about physics.
Physics? No, that would be a physicist. Trixie.
I think they study plants.
Yeah, plants. A botanist is someone that studies plants. Exactly. Botanists study plants. Biologist is an easy one. What does a biologist study? Billy, what does a biologist study?
I think that they study Earth because bio means Earth.
No.
They study living things.
Living things. All right, fine. Living things. Earth. No.
Yeah.
Bio means alive, buddy. Alive. Okay. Biologists, yeah, they study living things. For example, people and people getting older and people getting younger. A geographer. What does a geographer study? Okay, Joey, what does a geographer study?
They study geographic.
What does that mean?
They study the time and the things that happened in that time.
Not really. Trixie.
They study geography.
Geography. But what about geography? So I'm gonna help you. So a geographer is someone that studies the shape of the world, right? So what they'll do is they'll study what's going on in terms of the shape of the world. If you think of a geographer, think about someone that helps someone to draw a map. When someone's drawing a map, they need to know how big a mountain is, how big a hill is. A geographer is someone that can tell that. So they study the shape of the world. What about a volcanologist? Hacker, what's a volcanologist do?
The people that study the volcano.
Yeah, people that study volcanoes, that's an easy one. So a volcanologist is someone that studies volcanoes. Yeah, study everything about volcanoes, everything that happens during volcanoes. There's the volcanologist there running away. I don't think that's the volcanologist, but even still, that's pretty funny. That's also really scary, right? That's a very, very scary. Still going. That's pretty fun. What about a seismologist? Kimmy.
I think they study about earthquake.
Yeah, earthquakes, right? Earthquakes. So they study about earthquakes. It's a really quick way to do a experiment to see if an earthquake is happening. Paleontologist, Joey.
Bones and puzzle.
Yeah, bones and fossils, dinosaur bones, fossils, all that kind of stuff. That's what a paleontologist does. So yeah, this is an idea. This is what you think you're going to be doing when you see a dinosaur, and this is what's going to happen when you see a dinosaur. Very good, lots of fun. An entomologist. There's a cartoon about this. Oh, Kimmy.
Insect.
Yeah.
About insect.
Yeah. An entomologist studies insects. Lovely, lovely, cute little death machine. Actually, the only reason I chose this picture is because I hate spiders. I really do. Me and spiders, we're not friends. We don't like each other at all. But this is a spider that actually eats other spiders. So I really like it. What I want you to do is, for your homework, I want you to choose one type of scientist that you would like to be. Okay? I want you to explain the type of scientist, explain what type of science they study. Then write about one experiment they would likely do and the observation they caused about it. So, for example, okay, yes, Billy, you have a question?
Is an astronomer a type of scientist?
An astronomer is a type of scientist, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, an astronomer. They call it an astronomist, okay? An astronomer can be someone who just looks, who spends their time looking through a telescope looking. So you can be an amateur astronomer, is someone who spends their time looking at it, but an astronomist is someone who actually studies the celestial bodies in the sky. Okay, so look up the word astronomist. If you want, what I can do is when I send this to you, I can send you a list of scientists as well and what they study. But when you're doing your homework, please take the time to, one, explain what the scientist is, what they do, and then think about one experiment. So if you were to choose an astronomist, like Billy said, an experiment you could do is about the size of the telescope that you are using. Okay, so does a larger telescope give us a better look? So your hypothesis would be, if I use a larger telescope, I'll be able to see Jupiter better. So then your experiment would be to use a larger telescope to see if you can see Jupiter better. Okay, so what you need to do is think about a hypothesis that this particular scientist will make and an experiment that they would then do. I'll send you a Google form to put in these answers. Also, please also include a link with a load of scientists on it. Go through it, see which one you like, see which ones interest you. I chose some of the more interesting ones, I think, in this presentation. If you want to look for more, please have a look in the link. Okay, so let's try quizzes. So yeah, which scientist removes metals that they find? That's a geologist. Geologists study rocks. I mentioned that very, very quickly at the start. What else we got here? That's good. Good job about observation. Hypothesis, a statement in which you answer in which to investigate. Job. Scientists plan and carry out, and to answer the question, they investigate. Okay, an investigation is to plan and carry out. What do botanists study? Who said animals? Entomologist, insects. Paleontologist, dinosaurs. Biology, life. Silly. Space. We all got that right. Good job. Einstein. We've got less than a minute. So once again, you get this for your homework. I'll send you a Google form. Oh, pardon me. I'll send you a Google form. You can fill out all the information, and I'll send you a list of scientists as well. Okay, everybody, thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.